Hello, this is Gloria J. York, Master Tarot Reader for over 25 years and spiritual channeler since birth. Also, best-selling author of the bestseller, Medical Manslaughter. Will your doctor cause your death? Please read it because it will save your life. It's a true story. Here we are going into the month of June. And everyone is under the influence of Gemini. And it's proving to be a very, very active month for everyone. This month we have the summer solstice on June 20th, Father's Day, June 21st. Naturally, those born under the sign of Gemini are having a birthday. And Mercury is retrograde this month and going all the way into July. Also, Neptune, Saturn, Pluto, those very strong planets are playing a big part in this month for all of us. And the big word seems to be, as I've looked at the cards and gone through all the signs, the major word seems to be change. And that makes sense because we were in a pandemic, weren't we? We were in lockdown. And we aren't used to that, not by any means. But this time, it has given us a taste of socialism, what it would be like under socialism and communism. And nobody liked it, because we are Americans. Our forefathers fought and died for us to be free. And let's not give that up easily. Always remember that. Fight for your freedom, because once it's lost, you will never, ever get it back. And so let's take a look and see what is going on for the sign of Aquarius for June 2020. Now, being in lockdown, that has caused a lot of people, and many of you Aquarians too, to get very depressed, to get angry, to get anxious. Some of you lost your job, so money was very tight. You didn't know how you were going to put food on the table, how you were going to pay your bills. And so that has led for an increase in murders, suicides, drinking, drugs, smoking, spousal abuse, child abuse. Yes, there's a lot that has gone down, and many, many people were dying and are dying slowly every single day, and they didn't even have COVID. They were dying from being locked down and out of a job, or have lost their own business. Some have had that business for 20, 30, 40 years in their family, and now those doors will be closed forever. So we think about that when we look at our initial position when we start the tarot. And you, Aquarius, are so tired of it, you want to go on a vacation. You want to get going. You want to take a trip. And you will be. You will be. You're making plans already. You really are. Now, the card that is the immediate influence is the Two of Swords. And so the Two of Swords is saying that you have a dilemma. You have a question. Yes or no? Right or wrong? There's some dilemma that you have. And I would say that it's influencing here your trip, because Spirit is saying that that has a lot to do with it. So Spirit is saying, take off the blindfold and realistically evaluate your trip, where you want to go, where you are going, if you're going to be safe or not. So you see that pandemic, it shows up right away in the cards. For all signs, it really has. And in your immediate circumstance, you have the Five of Rods. And the Five of Rods is telling me that you have fought several battles lately. I'm talking within the last 3-4 months. There's been certain battles. Maybe it's arguments you've had with family or your employer. Definitely there's been a shakeup in regards to your employment. Either you are not getting all the hours you used to get, you're not getting the pay you used to get, or you just don't have the job, or you're trying to find another job or started a new job in a whole new career. And so there's been turmoil here. Yes, this has not been easy for a lot of you. And so you have fought these battles, and Spirit is saying that there are a few battles left that will have to be fought yet. As we look at the card that represents the distant past, the past, let's say 5 years, things were great. You were doing wonderful, Aquarius. You could wave your magic wand, and you were having a lifestyle that you enjoyed. You had money. You had no worries in that regard. You had friends. You were going to breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You were enjoying the arts. You were enjoying sports. Life was pretty doggone good. And you know what? Spirit tells me it will come back again. So you can put your wand down, but don't put it away, because you've got a lot of good living yet to do. And happy times will be back. Spirit is saying soon COVID will be just a memory, like every other flu that we get every single year. Yeah. As we look at your destiny, we have the King of Swords. The King of Swords is a very intelligent man. He's successful. He's intelligent. And he is going to enter your life and give you some sort of direction. Now, he could enter as a lover. He could enter as a friend, an employer, a colleague. But you will seek his advice. You will enjoy him being around you. Because, as I said before, he's very successful and he's very intelligent. Now, Spirit has just said to me to remind you, Aquarius, that nothing in your life is going to change unless you change. You should seek a new circle of friends, Spirit is saying. You should broaden your horizons. You should mingle with new people. Take up a hobby. Go back to work maybe 1 or 2 days a week. Something that will give you exposure to new people. And the reason I think Spirit is saying that to us is because for the 6th card to the 10th, now we're looking at the future. And we have here in the 6th card, which is actually the springboard, a King of Pentacles. This is a mate that is looking for you. Now, this is showing as a man, but it could also be a woman. But this person, male or female, is successful, has money, is worldly, is kind, is generous. And this person is looking for a mate. And they are coming here into your read, Aquarius. So this person will be coming into your life if you open up your life and expand your circle. So, like I said, this could be a mate. It could be a very dear friend. It could be someone that you'll meet and that friendship will last to your last dying days. This is somebody very special. And they're coming into your life. They want to come into your life, Aquarius. Now, as we continue, we look at the position of what you might fear. And we have the Eight of Swords. Now, as you'll see, the Eight of Swords is very similar to the original Two of Swords that was actually influencing your initial read here. And I said you have a decision to make. Well, the Eight of Swords too. The Eight of Swords is saying you must take off this blindfold that you have on, because there is a situation, Aquarius, in your life where you refuse to see things as they really are. You absolutely refuse. And you're somewhat very stubborn, is what Spirit is saying. You're very stubborn, and you're quite egotistical. And you give a lot of excuses as to why things can't be or aren't the way you wanted them to be. Why did I end up in the position I'm in? You put yourself there, even though you want to blame other people. And you say all the time, well, I can't do this because of that. I can't go here because I have to watch so-and-so. I can't go over there because I don't have enough money. On and on these excuses go. And Spirit is saying there's nothing holding you back from having the life you really want, except yourself. And once you take that blindfold off and you start to look at your life, your situation realistically, you're going to see that, hey, you could have everything you want, Aquarius. You're very strong, you're very dynamic, you're very out there in the future, you're so creative, and yet you're holding yourself down like two cinder blocks around your ankles. Why? You'll have to ask yourself that. Now, in the next position, which is family and friends, colleagues, you have the Empress. And the Empress is a sign and a card that represents birth. So someone in your family or friends is going to have a baby. Now, if that is not the case for you, then this could also mean the birth of an idea. Some idea that you've always thought about, something that you've been pondering, maybe something you want to invent, and you just have always put it off, and you've always said, oh, I have this great idea. Maybe you want to write a book. You've been putting that off. This would be a good time to sit down with pen and paper and start to write. But there is a birth emerging. Either a little angel is coming to this earth that you're connected with some way, or a birth of an idea is about to take off. As we continue and move into the position of really what you desire, we have the Queen of Swords. Now in the destiny, Aquarius, you had the King of Swords. And this here is what you're desiring. Straight talk. Intelligent conversation. But you have to watch, Aquarius, because sometimes the Queen likes to talk in the closet instead of talking straight to the person. And the Queen emphasizes that direct communication is the best. So, start to speak openly and honestly with people. Don't be smiling and then walk away and talk behind someone's back. Queen doesn't act that way. The Queen is forthright. The Queen is proud. The Queen is intelligent. And the Queen makes good decisions. And so watch that habit that you might have of talking about someone behind their back. Because you know the saying, what goes around comes around. And yes, karma is very, very strict. As we look at the final card for the final outcome, you have the 10 of Swords. Doesn't look like a pretty picture, does it? Spirit is saying, someone is going to hurt you. Someone is going to deceive you. Someone is going to disappoint you. Someone is talking behind your back. Someone is going to knife you in the back. Now the thing about the 10 of Swords, and all through this you'll notice, look how many swords you have. Swords, swords, and more swords, and more swords. And yes, this all has a theme, and it all says something about you and your situation. There's a lot of smart talk. There's some feuds. There's some disagreements. There's some words you've said that have hurt somebody. They came out like a sword and went into that person's heart. And there are people that have said things to you that will hurt you. And so what you've got to try to do during this month of June is to speak honestly and try not to be so judgmental. The good thing about this is it's the 10 of Swords, which means hurt, and anger, and feuds, disappointments. You've gone through quite a bit, and finally you're at the end. The 10 is the end. And hopefully Spirit is saying that you have learned as you have gone on this path. You have learned from your mistakes and other people's mistakes so that this stops happening, so there isn't any disappointment. I always pick an extra card. This one just flew out at us. The Hierophant. And so with the Hierophant, it's the spiritual connection. Yeah. How you're connecting to God, your Creator. And now through this period when things have been tough, you've been doing a lot more praying than you ever did. And you finally realize that you're not alone. You can't make it by yourself. You need God's help. You need to rest and say to Him, help me, carry me. And this is something that you have gotten stronger with over this past month. Your connection to God, your Creator. Excuse me. We're about ready to lose our battery. We want do that. There we go. Your connection to God, your Creator, has become stronger. Your prayers have become more frequent. You feel closer to God. You feel that connection has opened up. And that's a wonderful thing. You've started some sort of a ritual, a pattern. Maybe you have daily morning prayers. Maybe you say your rosary every day. Maybe you listen to Sunday service, Sunday Mass. You've got some sort of a habit that you've started now that you like. You're comfortable with it. And you should continue it because it's good. It works real well for you. You know, sometimes people go to church and they say the same prayers over and over again, or they just read in the book, and their mind is wandering all the time. Where are we going to go for breakfast? What am I going to have for dinner? Gee, I better go shopping. But during this pandemic time, when you have started talking to God one-on-one, those prayers have been deep and sincere. Those prayers are what God likes to hear. He loves those deep one-on-one conversations. Quickly, I'm going to pull a card from the Archangel deck for you. There are thousands of archangels, and we're very familiar with Archangel Michael, who protects us from all evil and harm. Archangel Raphael, who heals us, especially when we're sick, body, mind, spirit. Also protects our loved ones. And there's Archangel Gabriel, the messenger, delivers all the important messages from Father God to us since the beginning of time. But they tell me there are thousands of other archangels, and I'm learning some of their names as time has gone on. And I'm happy to get to know them. And so there's a few of those names in here, in this deck. And so I'm asking the Archangel who would like to have a message. They have a message that they would like to give to Aquarius. A direct message to Aquarius to assist them in guidance throughout June. And you know time is fluid, so though this reading is for June, some of this will flow into July. No doubt about it. And that's good, because then you have a heads up. Okay, so this one here just kind of started to jump out. Outdoors. It's Archangel Jophiel. Yeah. Go outside, get some fresh air, and connect with nature to relieve stress and gain new creative ideas. Well, Archangel Jophiel, you are so right. We were talking about that earlier. You cannot stay inside. It's bad for your immune system, and it'll actually make you sick. You've got to have that sunshine and fresh air. Get out there and breathe in and smell the fragrance of the flowers. Listen to the birds chirping. Nature is so beautiful and so healing. So I'll read it to you again. Go outside, get some fresh air, and connect with nature to relieve stress and gain new creative ideas. Such good advice for you, Aquarius, because you're an air sign, so you're the breeze. You're the beautiful wind that blows. And that's the way you are. You're very light and fun, and you have interest in other things, and you want to explore, and you want adventure. And your creative ideas are beautiful, and they're so far in the future that actually none of us can catch up. We have a hard time catching up to you guys. So, take Spirit's advice. Get out, expand your circle. Get ready, because someone is looking for you. I hope you've enjoyed this read, and if you have, please click on like, and while I'm talking, definitely click on subscribe and hit that bell. And then please share it. Share it with your friends and family and colleagues, and please share it with people you don't even know. Share it on Messenger, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, because there are other people out there that are born under the sign of Aquarius or have Aquarius in their chart some way. Rising sign, moon, Venus. And they need to hear this message. And they will be so grateful to you for passing this channel on to them. So, get ready for a very exciting June. And I look forward to seeing you next month in July. Till then, God bless you and keep you safe.